Hello, in this video I'm going to help you understand what is better if one-handed backhand or if two-handed backhand when you start playing tennis. I'm going to help you if you are intermediate or even a beginner, and especially if you are a beginner, because it's really common to ask, should I start with one hand or two-handed? And usually you even start with one hand because you saw on TV and actually it's really stylish. But what I want to say here and start with that is that if I need to recommend something, I would suggest and recommend two-handed backhand. And the reason is that it's really difficult to do one-handed backhand. You really need much more feeling to hit this shot. It will take longer to learn. And one example that I always give is when I used to be number one under 14, 16, and 18 in Portugal, I struggled to hit one-handed backhand, even one ball inside. Now, of course, I can do maybe one-handed backhand is even easier for me than two-handed, and I even never practice this shot. So that's one of the reasons I always try to explain to you is what I want to say, and try to make you understand that it's really hard to do one hand. And if you start with one-handed backhand, it's always going to be the weakest point on your game, and you will end up always losing. So what I really recommend is to have a really solid two-handed backhand. It's way easier to learn, especially if you finish already the forehand, if you already dominate the footwork. The footwork in your two-handed backhand or even one-handed backhand is exactly the same. The only difference here, and what I suggest for you, is to always go with closed stance first. Avoid to do open stance. Forget dominant eye if you are just starting now. So what I suggest is always power on your legs, always be low. Rotate your shoulders. Either you do one-handed or two-handed backhands, you need to rotate your shoulders here. When you do this after the split step, if you do the first step, always show me your shoulders here. Or if you have two-handed backhand, show me your shoulders. And starting with two-handed backhand, what I want to say to you is the grip. So the grip for two-handed backhand is always, imagine you shake hands. This hand is completely relaxed here, and I just want to make a quick note here to forget my backhand. So I'm posting now videos also of my backhand. Is really aggressive. I can hit really fast backhands as well if I'm confident, especially not every day I feel, but this week I'm actually hitting really well, but my grip is really close. I don't recommend this. I don't want you to do this backhand. I wish I could do normal, but I teach more than 1,000 players all with this grip, and this works every time. I always also teach in two ways. So basically I started teaching like that, okay, with a little bit of loop. Now I find out that just doing this and preparing with the simple movement here is a little bit simplified, but it's gonna work more, and the process is fastest for you. So what I suggest in the beginning is to open immediately if you are a beginner, and then you can even run or do these steps with the racket already here. If you are already better, what you can do is to rotate a little bit, and while you move, you keep opening, and then the last progress is while you run. If you have a little bit more extra time, you can even do a small loop, but this depends on the speed of the ball, the depth, and many other things you need to consider. If you want to hit the ball when the ball is on the rise, or if you want to wait a little bit more and go back, you decide what's better for you. My suggestion is when you do the split step and the first step, to rotate your shoulders. Imagine this is the camera pointing to the other side, this position here, and then you go two, double step, and you play contact point in front of you. Once you hit the ball, this foot goes up, as you see here, and if you really contact the ball in front of you and on your side and in front of you with distance between your body, the racket, and the ball, you're gonna fall, okay? And then this is like the camera again, pointing to the other side of the net. Instead of this is a really common mistake. To recover, just to do 1, 2 split step, because you need to recover, you need to get your position again. If you are doing this ball to go to the net, then you can just keep moving, and if you do approach, is another kind of footwork where you need to jump, but it's not that ball and not the goal for now. To that side is exactly the same footwork. You need to rotate your shoulders here. Remember when you rotate your shoulders to avoid the racket here, because if you do this, you end up losing power here, you don't have energy here, you force too much. So always the racket on your right side, okay? Here, then you can even run with the racket here, 2, 3, 4, stop, play, and finish here. And then you recover, 1, 2 split step. And just one more quick note is when you finish, to finish with your elbows up, to play deep, with distance between your arm, forearm, and your chest, not too close, because here the balls go shorter. If you do this here, the balls go shorter, while if you go up, if you do this and go up, not the best example, but if you go up here, okay, if you hit the ball and you go up, you start to play deeper. And one of the goals when you play tennis is to play deep balls because it's more difficult for your opponent to return. Just another thing is to always try to work on your cross-court ball. Have a really good solid backhand, cross-court, and simple. Don't try to create many difficult movements for you. Don't try to aim for down the line at the start. Just focus on a really good backhand cross-court, and that's it in the beginning. If you want, also just one more tip is to work on your backhand when you already have a really good forehand. But what I suggest is to work 2-3 lessons for the forehand is all you need if you follow my methodology, and then do 2 lessons for the backhand. Usually it's faster because the footwork is already there. Then go, as I mentioned in my book, is the process I explain my methodology. You have the link below in the description, but my methodology is to do 2-3 lessons for the forehand, 2 lessons for the backhand, then go to the volley, then backhand volley, smash and serve, and then the next lessons you upgrade a little bit more of each shot. And about one-handed backhand, what I want to say to you is the grip again. Imagine this is the bicycle, just hold the bicycle like that, okay? So if you have the bicycle in front of you, you just hold it. Another thing that helps a lot is instead of closing the hand too much, to spread more your fingers along the grip here. You will have much better feeling here. You can do more things. It's easier even to open the angles with one-handed backhand. The footwork is always the same. Just I say it's really important again to rotate your shoulders here, okay? And the power is on this leg, and then you transfer. And if you want heavy balls, heavy I mean fast and with top spin, you really need to have this drop of the racket to accelerate more. When you see professionals, you don't see a lot this movement because the ball is too fast. But if you watch closely, you know that when they really brush a lot, they go down and they accelerate. Sometimes I already see photos with the hand completely here to brush as much as possible. If you are a beginner, speed is the last thing you need to worry, because if you do fast, you will do more mistakes. And usually when you hit the fastest balls, you don't think. And if you don't think, you don't have anything remember in your brain, so you cannot do anything. So you need to start slow. You need to stop your feet to play, like 1, 2, double step, 1, 2, and stay. Or then you can even move forward, 1, 2, double step. You can move forward, okay? Another important thing that I want to suggest is when you hit the ball and then this hand goes up, I cannot open more, but if you can, this hand must go more back, and this would be perfect. I cannot do, but if you are starting and if you can do this the best, this is going to help you have a really good, powerful backhand. I suggest to start with a two-handed backhand. One hand is really difficult, or what you can do also is to work on your forehand, do the two-handed backhand, then have a really good, powerful forehand. And when you are in the point that, okay, I can destroy with my forehand already, which is not so difficult if you follow my courses or if you follow even my videos that I post here, a lot of them, you will end up having a really good forehand. It never fails, always works, so you will be the one also having a really good, powerful forehand. And in that moment, you can start playing a little bit just for fun, one-handed backhand, and who knows, you have sometimes some hidden talent in this shot, and you start to change, or sometimes you play even with both. I can play both now. I don't like my two-handed backhand, but I like my one-handed backhand. Actually, I just cannot open more. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this video. Let me know if you have any questions. If you are a beginner, let me know from where you are watching. If this video helps, if you reach this far in the video, let me know here as well. And also which backhand you chose to start with. What is your question? If you already can move, yeah, I would like to know. Thanks for joining and for subscribing here and for watching these videos. See you in the next video. Bye bye.